Hi there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my marathon experience yesterday. It was my second Edinburgh Marathon, my raz, dwa, trzy, cztery, fifth marathon altogether. And I have so many feelings around it. I think it's one of those peak experiences that do bring up a lot of feelings, and I mentioned some of this before in my previous video when I kind of explained my running journey a little bit. And it still feels funny because for me it's like, it is a steady part of my life. It has become a part of my life, running, and yet I am not a fitness. This is not a fitness account. I'm not gonna be, I don't consider myself an athlete, or, everything I do in terms of running, it's not, I think that's part of my problem. I don't consider it anything. At the time it is special, like when the first time you do something, it's special, and it was something that I thought wouldn't be achievable, and then it becomes almost like, oh well, we all, you run a marathon. Everybody runs marathons these days, and it still is a huge achievement for so many people. And I feel proud even of people just around me, people who are running with me. All these events is such a lovely, supportive atmosphere, and it doesn't matter what time you finish. It doesn't matter, what you look like, and it always strikes me how you can, see so many people of different body types. There is no one size of a marathon runner, and it kind of reminds me, of my own. It puts my own thoughts in check, because I would sometimes attend feeling like, I'm not feeling particularly fit at the moment, and what does it mean, And once again, it has surprised me as well that my body, I have a lot of different things that I struggle throughout the years, health-wise. A lot of different kind of chronic nags, and it's been also a part of my journey, very frustrating. And I always feel like, things aren't quite right, and there is a lot of aches I'm dealing with. And during my general training, I often would have a very complicated relationship with running. It's not like I'm this kind of person who gets up at 5 a.m. I do, but not for running. It's not like I get up and I go out and I go for my morning run and then I feel so invigorated and I love life. I can't run in the morning because I'm gonna go straight back to sleep. I often struggle to get out the door. I struggle with anxiety getting out the door. The build-up, the kind of neurodiverse preparation for an event. If you have something during the day, everything else kind of is an anticipation, so it's hard to put a lot of different key things during the day. So that all, creates this quite complicated relationship. And often I would actually, be kind of struggling for the first 5K, 10K even, and sometimes not really enjoying myself. And I would ask myself, why am I even doing this? What am I trying to prove? And then I would accidentally become faster, accidentally break my personal record, or do something like that. Or days when I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be a terrible day, it actually occurs to be a wonderful training, and then when I'm feeling it, it ends up being, plodding along and kind of dragging out. And it's just such a mystery. And, I am not someone who is very into tracking everything I do. I think I would go crazy doing that. It would just make me even more anxious. But, there are many factors in that. And I think that was also the issue with my body, where I just I'm like, I don't know. Lord works in mysterious ways. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I don't know what's causing this. I don't know why suddenly it changes. I am a little bit surfing that wave of bodily existence and trying to befriend it, trying to enjoy the unknown of it. It is this kind of big unknown, and sometimes I feel like my body is not my friend. And so you've got all this, and then there's this event, and all that just disappears. And I find this just wonderful, how, all the better. I mean, wonderful is just, it's such a lovely surprise, and this is when I'm feeling, wow, my body can do these things, and it's carrying me through this race, and the atmosphere is lovely, and it's so positive, and I just love that I'm there. And not mentioning when you have beautiful views and weather, although that was kind of tricky yesterday. So I was nervous, and the idea was pretty much just to finish it. I mean, I was expecting a certain result. I was expecting to do better than last year, but apart from that, I wasn't really trying too hard. It felt like my goal was to finish and feel good, not to break any massive records. I didn't want to exhaust myself in a way that I would have trouble recovering, because I have another event in 2.5 months, and I am quite afraid, so I don't want to kind of break my body before that. And like I said, the atmosphere was wonderful, and I think that at the end I started hoping for a certain time as well. One thing that I find really annoying, that I think it's a part of, is just something to count into these events, is bathroom breaks and queues for bathrooms, which always somehow ruin my bloody time. And I blame it entirely for not breaking my records. Bloody queues, like, come on. It's not only that, it eats your time, but also it takes you out of the rhythm. And of course it's very uncomfortable if you need to go, and it kind of ruins the experience. But yes, I don't like taking breaks. I don't like stopping. If I stop, I know I'm gonna have trouble getting back into it, so I just keep going, and that's the only thing. Until I can't, I can't anymore, and I have to take a break. But that can be a little bit frustrating, and it always then makes me wonder, especially if the time is like this year was my time was 4:31. So it's like, why is there that 1 minute? That can be a little frustrating. But I did better than last year, and I am moving closer towards the time I was running 10 years ago. So I'm really happy with that, because it means, I haven't maybe lost all that much of that ability. Although of course my body has changed, and of course things have changed, and I'm sure that all the life experience took its toll. And I've seen I had an injury last year, and ever since I've seen many doctors when I struggled to kind of recover from that a little bit, but a lot of aches and pains, and they seem to be they just kind of forget they exist for the course of the marathon. So I'm really pleased about how I felt at the end, and it almost felt like I had more in me. And there's a strange thing that happened, because I was really so happy and enjoyed the actual race, and yet after I had this strange feeling, like it kind of, like I had lapse in time, like oh, that's it, that's it, I kind of had more miles in my mind, because what I did was I I tend to play mind games when I'm running long distances. And short as well, because I get bored absolutely very quickly. I just get bored, so I need to. My brain, I think, is really used to keeping, like, I need to keep going all the time, otherwise I'll fall asleep. I'm pretty sure there's a name for that. And it's probably just living in a constant high alert, you know. So when I run, I always think about something, and I have lists I go through, and I count different things. I have this kind of mind palace going on, and I walk around different aspects of my life, and I check in, you know, like a magical garden, and I check in on my roses, you know. And I do that to keep myself just engaged, rather than just, you know, hearing the sound of my own footsteps. I try to do that as well. That is a part of kind of a meditative experience of that, where I just try not to do anything, just be, as a conscious choice. Of course, a lot is happening around these races, so you have like people cheering, and you have someone you pick from the crowd that you kind of follow, you know, maybe they're a little bit cute or something, and you just follow them, or you know, you cheer each other on, or you listen to music, like the supporters, the kind of performances, or anything like that. So I try to do that as much as possible before I start listening to music, or because that's another secret weapon. That's one of my secret weapons. Obviously, music, you know, keeps you going. But I try to keep all these games until I can't use, when I used up all the other experiences of that. And I keep pushing that line of this mental reframing. I keep pushing it further. So for example, once I finished half marathon, I felt, oh, okay, the same bit to go, you know, we're halfway. Now I only have to do this again, what I've just accomplished. And then it just kind of keeps shrinking, and I keep moving the sign. So for me, it was only mile 23 when I started thinking, okay, I think I need some help here. I think this mile 21, 22, they seemed very, very long. It seemed like they were getting longer, understandably so, right? I don't think I've hit the wall, really. I think all the potatoes I've eaten that week have somehow summoned delayed energy, and I definitely took my carb loading very seriously, a bit too seriously, so I was worried about it. But somehow it all seems to have worked out. Same with hydration. I'm a very chaotic, haphazard kind of athlete, non-athlete. I have a lot of ups and downs around eating, so all these things are very approximate. You know, when there are people who really like, okay, I think it's time for my second gel, I'm kind of like, okay, let's see how we're vibing. Sometimes it happens to work out, and this time it seems to have worked out, and it almost makes me wonder, have I really done my best? You know, have I really given my all? And I wasn't supposed to give my all. That was the whole point. It was supposed to be like a training run for my future event, but it's a weird one. It's a weird one. So it's like, I try not to ruin my own experience and not to ruin my own positive vibes with immediately jumping into like, you know, could have been a bit better though. Because I think that I've acquired it somewhere. I wonder where I might have acquired such thoughts of, you know, you're good, but could have been better. Interesting. So I am trying not to do that. But the day after is weird. It's, you know, post-race blues is a thing. You kind of, as your body has given its all and depleted all the resources, you might feel a bit low, you might feel like you're coming down with something. There's also the buzz of wanting to have another race, to feel something again. And this is how we kind of get into it. And then it, you know, you keep going for longer distances or for more challenging routes, or, you know, you have a new goal, a new record to break. So do I. And I have quite an insane race ahead of me. Insane for me, because if you ask other ultra runners, for them it's just Thursday. And I do have a secret dream around marathon running. I have a certain goal in mind, which should be achievable given my kind of setup. I think it's not completely beyond my genetic ability, I think. You might try to guess what I want, what is my record to break. But today I'm feeling a bit strange. I'm feeling a bit strange, and there's a mix of that joy and buzz and happiness from what I have achieved. And you know, I'm looking at pictures and it's all very cute, and I feel very sentimental about this energy around that, all the support, all the, you know, smiling people running and accomplishing something so wonderful, and then also the sadness of that it's gone, that it kind of went quickly, that have I done my best? Does it even matter? And now I'm looking for other marathons, and that is the circle of life.